Hey guys, Ashley here with another reaction video, and this one is going to be a creepypasta reaction video again. If you guys remember the Nights into Dreams creepypasta read by the oh so famous Mr. Creepypasta, this one here was actually a request by me. Actually, I requested this person here to read one of my fanfics, which was of course, Knight's creepypasta since there was only one Knight's creepypasta. So, yeah. And, well, like I said, I had made this, Reala's Heart, and I'll just say this right now, looking back on it, it was my very first one, and I have to say, I'm really glad that I don't do this kind of taking ideas from other people nowadays. Oh boy. Let's just say, let's get into the cringe, shall we? Also, this will be going into two parts because I am not confident enough to actually keep it uploaded for this long. Now, without further ado, let's sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you guys are ready and prepared, let's dive in, shall we? CreepyPasta. There's only about two pictures.
I'm a simple fan of video games, playing many games from a few franchises that I liked. Even though I'm a female, I'm the typical tomboy. It's perfectly natural for me.
Man, early start, not a good idea.
Pokemon, all of them. Star Fox Assault, Digimon
I used to play that game,
Sonic,
used to play that
Luigi's
game.
Mansion, and my top favorite, Nights, Journey of Dreams.
Nice choice of music, though.
Journey of Dreams
this picture.
Was a personal game that I've always
That's a really nice
to play.
picture of all.
The funny story is that I never played the original because I never had a Sega Saturn.
That's true, I never had
one. I
one.
did, however, get the Nintendo Wii, and I had got Sega Superstar Tennis for it. When I saw Knights
Superstars Tennis,
I was very happy with him. He handled well, but I honestly...
Yeah, Knights was a really fun character to play as.
Huge fan of him.
Yeah,
I did like
but
him better than Sonic, since I never really liked Sonic, but Knights was so replaced by a new character, which got me to play the game even more.
Yeah, that is true.
Was the red and black jester, Reala.
Yeah.
He was an awesome character to play as. Heck.
Even if he was an all-around type like Knights.
Plus, his design was pretty freaking cool.
Indeed.
After a little time, I wanted to get Journey of Dreams, so I did.
I looked this up on the internet, guys.
I had so much fun.
Yeah, I did play it.
I have some trouble, like at the Bamamba boss battle.
Oh, that fight.
Concert.
That mission.
The game was still fun. I was mostly liking the characters. Even Knights. Knights was fun to watch, even if he's a Nightmarean that likes to be playful and carefree, yet
Indeed.
still lovable. Helen,
Knights is likable.
Say 50-50 about her. Owl.
Yeah. I don't mind Owl nowadays.
Will, he's a personal fave out of the two kids. Wiseman
it's true.
Was threatening, both horrifying and frightening to look at, as well as listen to.
Yes, pretty much.
One character who always keeps me the most entertained was Reala. I don't know what it was about him that always makes me smile. Maybe
what can I say? I basically have the same for Reala. I mean, how could you go wrong with the guy? I mean,
whenever
seriously.
I replay the final boss, I always looked forward to fighting Reala. Well,
yes.
Now that I think about it, who really wants to fight the God of Nightmare over 4 times? Not me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's the most strangest. Even though Reala's a bad guy, I always seemed more comfortable when he talked. It was that soft, calming tone he always has. Also, when he's bowing to his master, it makes me feel so sorry for him.
It's true, I do feel sorry for him.
The thing that I mostly cried over is when he's defeated during the second battle.
We don't see what happened.
I nearly cried crocodile tears, but I knew he wasn't really dead. Another strange thing, and
oh boy.
I know it's gonna sound silly, but it feels like he's always looking at me during his stare, like he wants to see me.
Boy, was I not really that there in the head, honestly.
Jackal from Nights into Dreams, The other characters, bosses, and even Reala himself, they were all
Yeah, this was
there.
a thing back then.
They
My
wished to
edgier
impress me with
years.
things inspired in my head.
My early
They were
years of
also there when
CreepyPasta.
I'm daydreaming, you know, as imaginary friends. The one who always stays with me is Reala. I know he's a fictional character, but he seemed real to me. The others did too. Heck,
Feel very more
it's like we
connected
were
in a
plants,
way.
but I know that's impossible. Reala seemed the most real. He made me feel very happy, safe, humored, and most of all, loved.
Oh.
It was like he really was by my side, even in the real world. I've always had a crush on Reala. He was
That ain't no lie.
my
I can
warrior.
pretty much hate
He
Reala.
was loyal to me. I even named my Reshiram from Pokemon after him because
Reshiram.
of the color. Blue eyes and flames. I loved
Yeah, I
every
pretty
minute
much
of
used the
him.
Reshiram,
In
but
my
since
dreams, Reala asks
Evolved
me
Till pretty much
strange
also came out,
questions.
I
I
made those
remember
two
one
Pokemon fused
conversation as
together,
clear as
and
day.
that created the much
Reala
more
had
appropriate
asked me,
Pokemon for Riel to
How
become.
happy are you with me,
Oh my god, that
passion
voice.
girl?
as happy
Yeah,
as anyone could
There's
be.
another
Why
person
do you
in.
ask? I had questioned
There's
Reala back.
another voice actor in this.
Just want to make sure.
That act.
That is all. Besides, you are the
Wow.
only visitor that makes me happy.
So,
Also, one that I would never harm, not even once. But if I
well,
am what you see, maybe you can use your ideas and come up with forms for me. Maybe then I can protect you from your worst nightmares.
Alright, I'll try. I had remembered that I'd concentrated long on
oh
that
wow.
drawing. It
I
took
have to admit,
effort, but I
the
remember being
the guy
successful.
who did the voice for
His
Riala in this
form
was
took
just
effect.
great. I have to
Reala
admit,
spoke.
got that British tone down.
Perfect. Now I will show you my moves on what you have wanted
Show me
for
your move.
protection.
I'm sorry.
I remember smiling. Reala then continued.
Oh, and one more thing I really need to know.
What is it? I asked.
Will you always love me?
Of course. I'll always love you. Dreams like that made me very happy. I was always happy when he's on my mind, but years went by and I played Journey of Dreams less and less.
Yeah,
Besides, most of those years were of school, and
it's
I
true.
was always having trouble fitting in. I had
Yeah.
my friends, but I just couldn't stand this kid in my class.
Yeah, this was a time where this guy.
He's like a curse. I mean, he's
Yeah, there was
always
this
saying the
kid in my
wrongest
class
things, whether it's
named
about
Joseph.
history,
I
science,
really didn't like the
English,
guy.
or even video games. Heck, he even insulted my art because they're either not original or
Okay, that was funny.
yours.
No,
This made me give him the perfect insult I could think of, like him being a loser, a prick, a douche, and a critic. I even explained to my gaming friend Grant about things I would say, like
honestly,
that Joseph won't ever
he
have a
wasn't just
girlfriend, he'll
mean
be
to
alone
me,
his
but
whole
other
life, he's a
students as
douchebag,
well. I'm
he
not
won't be
kidding. He
getting
was just
laid,
that
or
big of a
he
jerk.
won't be getting a life.
The guy who has a big
Grant
ego.
totally agreed. It's been years since thinking about that. I'm 17 now, and I still held on to that thought. I began having nightmares, mostly from creepypastas or from
Yeah,
my
the
own
thing I
imagination.
tend to get
I
kind.
decided to
My
go
early
on a
years, I kind of had
completely
nightmares
made-up
from
night
reading
since it was
creepypastas
always
or
able to
listening to
stop my
them.
nightmares.
But
I
nowadays,
heard a
they're
familiar
kind of like
theme.
bedtime stories, to be
It was
honest.
Reala's
As
theme.
weird as it sounds.
I
Oh.
began to feel like I should play Journey of Dreams, so I went to my shelf where I kept
Well, to be
movies and
honest, it's a
games,
bit.
and voila!
If you
I
must know,
found
this is
Journey of
sort of a
Dreams.
reference
I hopped
to
in the game and got myself
Pokemon
ready to
Dead
play with
channel, but
everyone's
at least
favorite
I kind of get to
jester
the
again.
point.
I was also ready to see my favorite rival again. As the opening finished, I selected continue and picked Will because I liked to play as him.
Mm-hmm.
As I entered
Yep.
the Dream Gate, something
Now we're gonna get
wasn't
something
quite
different.
right with it.
Yep.
There was no music playing. The nice night sky was just colored black.
What was it?
When I entered,
Dust on the Disc?
I was greeted by Owl, who seemed to
Owl's
see me like
only
he was
line in
upset or
this.
something. He looked like he was soaked in blood.
Yeah.
His eyes looked sad and terrified, and his outfit all shredded up.
Yeah.
But What mostly scared me is what he said.
Here it comes.
Oh, thank goodness you've returned, visitor. I almost
He's
lost
not.
all
He doesn't
hope
really sound
that
different
you
from
finally
Reala.
returned.
I just
I
noticed.
thought to myself, what did he mean, finally returned? Owl continued to speak.
It has been just terrible. Ever since you stopped visiting us, things have gotten way worse.
Worse? What does he mean by worse?
He was upset that you haven't been showing up. He even got so impatient that he started hurting, torturing us all.
He? What did he mean by he? And
Yeah, you could say I just want to build suspense
If you're
in
going to look
this.
for Knights, then he must be in either Lost Park or Pure Valley. But be careful, visitor. He's watching you.
He's always watching
after
you.
that, he
Big Brother is
disappeared,
watching
yet
you.
at the time, I was still confused on what he meant. He did say Knights was either in
Owl
Pure
is the
Valley
only
or
one.
Lost Park, so I went to
Yeah,
Pure
that's the
Valley.
only time we're gonna hear Owl
When
speak.
I was in Pure Valley, I saw the horror.
Yeah, Pure Valley.
The place was
It's not.
covered in blood.
Yeah, not Pure Valley
Bodies
anymore.
were scattered all over the place. The ground was all molded, and the sky
Molded
was
sky.
colored gray.
Gray
I
sky.
clearly was not happy with the scenery I faced. I felt rather
It's a nightmare-like
horrified.
area.
I strangely saw that there was no clock, so I was able to roam freely.
Yeah, the
While
little clock in the
exploring,
corner.
the music was muted, but there was horrifying monster noises. After about maybe a minute of exploring,
Ugh,
I came across
get that
what
wire,
looked like
dang
a
it.
goodle bird. You know, those giant birds that gets knights into every chase mission?
Mm-hmm.
Something was strange about it. It was like it was waiting for me. So I went up to it. When I had gotten close to it, it dropped a message and flew off. I walked up to it and read it. It says,
Oh.
I have been waiting and waiting and waiting for you to come and see me. But you did not. So I shall make you
Man.
feel what I have been
Despite
feeling
this
over
being a
these years.
Despite this being a cringy
it
creepypasta,
ended like that.
this
Oh well.
this performance is actually pretty
There was
good.
nothing else to do, and seeing that Knights wasn't there, he must have been in Lost Park. I entered the other world, but this was
Lost
far
Park.
more gruesome than the last. The sky was a darker black.
Darker
The
black.
ground was far more bloodier, and there were more Nightopian bodies.
Nightopia.
Their heads were missing.
Yep.
I tried to ignore the scene, but was soon interrupted by a familiar cackle. It was Chameleon. It
Camelon.
seemed like he needed to say something. He then showed me images of things.
He's a
all
magician.
over
He can do
Lost
that.
Park.
Yeah.
Rides rusting and breaking. Nightmarins eating the dead bodies of Nightopians.
Well, that's what they do.
And the dead body of Octopaw.
Oh boy.
His tentacles torn off, there were claw marks on his body, and his eyes were leaking blood. Chameleon soon left. Like in Pure Valley, Knights wasn't in Lost Park, so
Hang on a sec,
there
guys.
was a last place to check, and that was Delight City.
Delight
I
City.
hope to God that it won't be like what I've seen before.
Yeah.
Surprisingly,
Sorry,
upon arriving,
if the
the
Lost
city
Park
was
didn't
still
really,
the same.
Lost Park didn't
The
really get
cutscene
much of
showed,
exploration.
was kind of strange since
But-
I didn't pick a vent.
Yeah.
Soon I saw something coming at me, a red light.
Red
It went
light.
across the screen, and then the
Red light!
screen just cut to
Red light!
black. I looked around, then realized I was in a black area. I was really nervous.
Yeah, nothing but
I was
blackness.
soon greeted by a familiar purple jester. It
Nice!
was Knights. It was such a relief, but then I've noticed the look on his face, showing feelings I've never seen him show before. Sadness, depression, fear, and anguish.
Oh,
That's
man.
not all.
I mean, Knight's
He
super
also looked like
depressed.
he had claw marks on him, and looked like he had been crying for some time now.
Oh.
I
Nice.
felt so sorry for the poor nightmare.
Yeah, poor
I
Knight.
wanted to go over and hug him.
Oh,
I
listen to
walked
him.
over to him to talk to him.
Okay, here it comes.
Knights was crying. He then looked over and said,
Oh, it's you again. You're back.
That
Thank
voice.
God you've returned. I thought that things were going to get even worse, but you're here now.
Knights actually does have an
Now
echo
you
in
can
Journey
be
of Dreams,
seen, and
oddly.
I'll bet you stop this whole madness.
again,
Knights
that
is
word.
not insane in this.
I questioned myself. Who do they mean by he?
I should tell you the one who I'm talking about is. It's.
Just then, Knights had got taken away by someone. I don't know exactly what just happened. I couldn't figure out
Knights
what
is
was
gone.
the thing that took him. But I soon was about to find out.
Sort of like that.
On the ground, I saw that this thing was Reala, the
Oh.
nightmare, and something
Reala.
wasn't quite right about him. His persona mask was a
The
dark
persona
gold.
mask.
His red color
Ah!
was more like a crimson. His
Ah!
fangs were longer and
Ah,
sharper.
the picture!
And his claws
That effect,
were
man!
sharper as well. What made me feel more discomfort was the look on his face. It looks like he was a mix of angry, frustrated, and sad. Things I've never seen from him, but what made me more uneasy was the look in his eyes. They had what looked like tears. It gave me the impression that he was crying out of anger. After a minute of staring at him, Will was dragged down by a dark red war portal.
Reala could be the equivalency of Envy from Full Metal Alchemist a bit.
But before the
Due to the feeling of
I saw that
abandonment.
there was writing that looked bloody. Just mentioning this makes my blood run
A
cold.
blood
Do
sign.
you still love me, Ashley girl? The game forced me back to the menu.
Okay.
I was shocked to see that Will was blocked off. It only left Helen selectable.
That was actually a reference to the
wanted
Nights
to
in a
continue,
Dream
but
story.
I was terrified.
CreepyPasta,
Not to mention, I was already tired from a long day. I turned off the game and went to bed, hoping to get some
Hey,
proper
this is
sleep.
pretty much an advantage.
I wanted to get
Like how most people would actually continue the game.
That easy.
But hey, I guess I was kind of
had a dream.
a little bit on
In
the
my dream,
advantage
I witnessed Will,
of
Owl,
turning
the
off the game.
Nightonians, and Knights all being tortured by someone with a familiar figure.
Sonic.exe
I was
reference.
terrified to find out that the figure
Sort
was
of.
Reala. In my dream, I asked him to stop. In fact, I begged.
Oh
He
yeah,
turned
the
to
thing I
face
kept
me.
kept repeating was
Evil
in my
eyes
dream.
smirk. His
I'm
evil
sorry.
eyes were glaring at me. He began to float over me. I tried to move, but it felt like something was holding me stiff. Reala stood in front of me, showing
You
no
could say
change
that's
in his
paranoid.
expression. Reala was looking
Frozen
straight
in
at
paralyzation.
me. I was shaking in fear. I felt like he's going to try to hurt me, so I embraced myself on what he was going to do next. I shut my eyes tightly and just waited. Nothing.
This was before I actually wore glasses, I believe.
The look he had before changed. The expression looked something like disappointment. He didn't say anything. I remember we stared at each other for about a minute or two until he simply crossed his arms and spoke.
Yeah.
You are not too sure what is going on here.
He doesn't
correct?
say what's
In my
happening.
dream, I didn't know how to answer him. I remember shaking my head in hope.
Oh yeah, and the repeated of I remember. I'm
I
sorry.
resumed to speak.
Again, early years.
I guess I shall let you in on a little something, Ashley girl. The answer cannot be found here. Only the girl who fears me can do this.
He's talking about
If you
Helen.
complete this task, you will be shown everything.
Yeah, he's
I
putting up a
woke after he
test.
said that.
I hate
I
tests.
knew who he meant by the girl who fears him. I turned the game back on and selected Helen. Helen was the girl. When she arrived,
I said Helen was the girl or something. I could have at least.
When I saw
I guess I wanted to point that out.
was demolished. The metal bars were
Yeah, the
rusted,
gate was
molded.
destroyed.
There was grime forming. The trees were stained in what looked like blood.
There were blood stains on them.
Dead
Sorry.
Nighttopians scattered across the path. Leading up into the path, there
Also,
was
giant
only a
mushrooms.
body
You could say
at the
giant
end
mushrooms.
that I can easily recognize.
Owl's
The body
gone.
of Owl.
Yeah, Owl is gone.
The body has been torn apart from the looks of it. I felt like I was about to throw up, so I quickly went into Aqua Garden where I know I would feel less sickened, but...
Yeah, Owl...
Once I've gotten
He
there,
may have been
I
annoying
saw that
at
the
some
water
point,
was
but
crimson
he was still
blood
helpful
red.
regardless.
The ground was covered in mold and grime.
Mold and
I
grime
quickly
in
shook
Aqua
this
Garden.
chilling feeling off.
Sand turned into
I
that.
saw the cage where Knights would usually be. Wasn't there. The cage, it was gone. In the place where that cage would be, it was Reala standing there.
Yeah, Reala.
Just waiting. Like, he wanted me to move Helen towards him. I did, but Helen only moved half of her own running speed. I had figured this was because Reala was the first enemy in the game she ever encountered.
Yeah, like in the actual cutscenes.
When
It
I
actually
stopped
scared
in front
her.
of Reala, he offered his hand as if asking me to duelize, but
Oh yeah, and
that's impossible. You can only duelize with knights, but I think if he was the only one there...
supposed to be a reference to the original where you can duelize with Reala, since he and Knights are supposed to be first level nightmares, and you can do that.
What I've noticed was that I was able to fly freely, so I flew all over.
Yeah, Reala doesn't have the rules.
Until about
He can bend them.
minutes later, Reala stopped completely, without me stopping him. He slowly descended to the ground, then after 15 seconds, he spoke.
In order to find out the truth, these tests shall prove on how your emotions are linked with mine.
Emotions
Thus,
are linked with his.
you will understand my pain.
I had no idea on what he was going on about. He was talking about
There, you
testing
understand
my
my
link with
pain.
his emotions? I couldn't for the life of me figure out what he meant by that, but I think I was soon about to find out. I did all 5
Again, I feel really bad for doing this to Reala, but then again, I made him into a monster.
But I did it.
A,
These missions,
sort of clever
they were far from
villain
fun.
in this.
They were more like a horror stylized game.
Yeah,
I
horror
had
style
to
game.
hunt Nighttopians.
Hunt
I had
Nighttopians.
to destroy lands.
Destroy the land stuff.
Capture Idia. Threaten dreamers. The worst
Yep.
thing was watching Reala claw his victims to death.
Because he has
This
those claws.
continued until he let Helen
You
go.
could also assume that he was
I was
he
about
also
to head to the door until he
biting,
said
absorbing
this.
their energy out.
Before you
And,
go,
of
I
course,
will be waiting for
choking
you
them.
at Crystal Castle. And do not keep me waiting.
He had given me a toothly grin before disappearing. I had a feeling he would say that. It just couldn't end that easily.
Yes.
I went to Crystal Castle, and all the crystals were broken. They were colored red and black. The sky was a dark red,
Reala's
and the
colors.
ground was gray. I felt lucky that there were at least no bodies. I then saw
Nobody
Reala
knows the trouble I
waiting for me
see.
again. Like before, I walked up to him, but instead of him asking to duelize, he simply revealed a sad face and spoke.
I know you are not too happy about this. There is a reason why I called you here.
Reala then turned around and pointed.
There is a trial I have set up for you. I must ask you this. Are you really wanting to know the truth?
I'm sorry if I didn't
Option
explain the
screen
trials
yes or
of
no
this.
popped up.
I-
I didn't know exactly what to do, so I selected yes.
I must warn you that you will be wishing that you did not.
After
I think
that,
it was
I
because
studied
of
the trial
deep
that Reala
pain,
had set up.
sorrow, and
They were
suffering, I
different,
believe. That was
almost
the
like
trial
I've
it was
done this
meant to be.
before. After the trial finished, Reala walked up to me and said this.
I am impressed that you have managed to pass. I guess I
think
shall
it was
let you
supposed
know
to be
that
quiz.
Knights is in the memory forest. I think he's waiting for you.
Oh yeah, Knights.
If I were you, I would get going to see what is going on.
Oh man, the dialogue for
After that,
Reala
he
and
vanished.
Knights are just great.
Once I find out the truth, I can finally face him. Hopefully, that will put this whole nightmarish thing behind me.
Nightmarish
Maybe
thing.
the game would go back to normal.
Yeah.
Once I entered the forest, I quickly began searching for Knights. I was surprisingly shocked to see that the whole forest was covered in snow. There was
Again.
sad music playing in the background. It honestly made me really sad, and I did shed a
Hey,
tear.
this music is
I
fitting
don't think I
too.
can blame myself. I was very emotional that day with what I had experienced.
Yeah.
After what had felt like 30 minutes of searching, I came to a complete stop when I heard a very sad yet familiar tone. I followed the sound until I came across the Sky concert,
Oh,
which was
this.
red-colored. I also saw Knights playing his flute, but it wasn't the usual way I remembered. The tone sounded sad and depressing. I
Oh.
was wondering why
I'm feeling
he
kind
was
of
playing
sad
here in the
too.
frozen forest. I walked up to him and talked to him. Knights looked at me with a very depressing expression and said this.
So, you've passed Reala's trials. He told you to come and find me, huh? Well,
Oh.
if you're wanting the truth, you must pass this one final test. Then I'll take you to find the answers you're looking for.
Knights then held his hand out toward Helen. I'm speechless. I mean, Knights never sounded that sad or hopeless before. In order
Oh.
to end this all, I must
This makes you
perform
want to
a
hug
Sky
Knights.
concert, which
Seriously,
I
it
must
makes you
admit,
want to hug Knights.
I've never gotten an A rank on.
Yeah, the
but
Sky concert.
It was
Ugh.
the only option I had. I let Helen duelize with Knights, and the mission started. While playing, the Knights theme was replaced by a sorrowful, agonizing toned theme. I felt the theme was telling me someone's hurting badly. I had a feeling it might have been Knights, or at least I thought. I passed without any trouble.
Man, this music feels right for
After it
this.
ended, Knights finally spoke.
Well, here's something you should know. The one who attacked me also caused this whole Armageddon to happen.
Armageddon.
I tried fighting back, but he said I shouldn't bother. Owl told him to move on, but that only angered him more.
Oh boy.
Thus, he terrorized all of Nightopia. I had no choice but to give in. He said that I won't have to go back to Wise Man and I shouldn't save any visitors or he would have killed me. I cursed at myself every day. I shouldn't be alive right now.
Aw, for
This
Knights.
place is no longer a paradise, but instead a hellhole. But you can make this all go away. He's waiting for you in Nightmare. There, you'll find out everything. Please, take care of Helen, Ashley.
I
That
was
British accent.
frozen in shock. He had just broken the fourth wall.
It's not like they
is that
basically
even
did it
possible?
before.
I felt there was no way that could ever happen.
Ah, the
Knowing
music
that Knights had
changed.
just said my name was chilling. With that, I knew I had to continue playing the game, and I think I finally knew who started this whole terror. He is expecting me, and now I know where I should go. And that
Is it
place
Cell?
is Nightmare.
Is it
I
Cell?
walked up the stairs.
I'm
and went
kidding.
in. Once I got to Bellbridge, I saw that it was just black. I tried to continue on, but Helen wasn't moving. I tried everything, every button, yet whatever I did, she just wouldn't move. I soon realized that Helen was shaking, as if she was trembling in fear. It was like something was
Reference-
approaching her.
reference to
Sadly,
Knights in the
I
Dream.
was right. The same portal that had swallowed Will from earlier now swallowed Helen. I was forced back to the menu screen. I was extremely stubborn and angry at this point. I was tired of stalling. I know I was shaken up by everything, but I wouldn't
I
let
was
this
supposed to
stop
put
me
in
from fixing
Avatar
things.
again stalled.
I pressed continue, and to my horror, Helen was unselectable.
Okay, I'm gonna stop right there, and I'll see you in part 2. Ciao, ciao.